Fuck you!
Oh, shit. Keep driving.
Hey, what's up guys? Jasper Gonzo here. What's next? Didn't get a chance to do any videos over the weekend only due to prior commitments. But I may be a little behind on this one. A few days, maybe. But I feel it needs to be still done. Wokeness never takes a holiday. Just like evil never takes a holiday. You know, democratic stupidity never takes a holiday. Joe Dementia. Our favorite company of wokeness, Disney. Let's take a look. This comes out of BJ Media. Mickey Mouse goes woke and the customers don't like it. Shocker. The Walt Disney Corp has ordered all headquarters employees to attend seminars that inject critical race theory, quote, systematic racism, white privilege, white fragility into their training. The way that City Journal's Christopher Rufo describes what contained in the whistleblower documents he received from several different Disney employees suggests that training regimen is designed to elicit guilt and shame from white employees falsifying history. In truth, it's beyond belief. Disney theme parks may be known as the happiest place on earth. Not for a very, very, very long time, folks. But you have to wonder how long they are the at least decent place on earth. The core of Disney's racial program is a series of training modules on anti-racism. In one called Allyship for Race Consciousness, the company tells employees that they must take ownership of educating themselves about structural anti-black racism, that they should not rely on their own black colleagues to educate them, because it is emotionally taxing. The United States, the document claims, has a long history of systemic racism and transphobia. And white employees in particular must work through feelings of guilt, shame, defensiveness to understand what is beneath them and what needs to be healed. Disney recommends that employees atone by, quote, challenging colorblind ideologies and rhetoric such as all lives matter, which of course, all lives do matter. Facts. And I don't see color. They must listen with empathy to black colleagues and must not question or debate black colleagues' lived experiences. We're going to show you a video. This came out of Tucker Carlson on Friday in regards to, one Christopher Rufo's comments in regards to this, his article, his whistleblower in regards to this. And we'll go through there. We'll go from there. Excuse me.
The Walt Disney Company was the most famous entertainment company in America. In fact, it represented America to the world. It was in some sense synonymous with American culture. Disney, of course, produced all kinds of films during the Second World War, encouraging the United States to defeat fascism. So when you hear Disney, you think of something that's very American, very wholesome, something that your kids would watch. It's changed. Disney has started producing propaganda films, not for the U.S. government, but for the Chinese Communist Party. Not surprisingly, its senior leadership has denounced its own historic cartoons as racist.
One of the things that we actually did during the course of that work was to conduct focus groups with our Black colleagues. And we got some really tough but incredibly valuable feedback, including the following statement, which I will never forget when I read it and the research results. I'm not comfortable with Disney commercializing racist content. So what this remark is referencing is the fact that there are titles in our library that include, frankly, racist characterizations. And we're not talking exclusively about obscure titles. There are titles that include that, like Fantasia or Dumbo and Aladdin.
It's almost worth saving that tape. So here you have someone who's clearly not very smart, rolling her eyes, and because she does some kind of in-house focus group with like 11 people, your kids don't get to watch the movies that you grew up watching because some unhappy person whose name we'll never know decided they were racist. That was Jenny Cohen, by the way, on the screen. She's the executive vice president at Disney for something called corporate social responsibility. Now we're learning that that's just the tip of the iceberg. Disney is training its employees that the United States, the country that produced Disney, is in fact evil. Chris Rufo is a journalist who's obtained a trove of internal documents from Disney. They're all part of a program the company calls Reimagine Tomorrow. In one part of the training, which is called Allyship for Race Consciousness, can you even imagine? Disney claims that, quote, the United States has a long history of systemic racism and transphobia. By the way, transphobia is a word that didn't exist like 20 minutes ago. What do you mean a long history of it? No one even heard of that until some unhappy sociology major from Wesleyan made it up and imposed it on the rest of us. But the training, totally ahistorical training, goes on to tell white employees to, quote, work through feelings of guilt, shame, and defensiveness to understand what is beneath them and what needs to be healed, right? Targeting employees on their race. Disney specifically tells employees to, quote, challenge colorblind ideologies and rhetoric, such as, and we're quoting, all lives matter. So you can't say all lives matter, so which lives matter? Why don't you tell us, Disney? In a separate training, Disney demands its employees reject the concept of, quote, equality. So crazy, hard to believe it's real. It is real, though. Chris Rufo broke the story. He joins us tonight to confirm that. So you can't say all lives matter. I'm sorry to get caught up on this one turn of phrase, but it's just so revealing. Is there any indication of which lives matter and which lives don't matter, according to the Walt Disney Company?
Yeah, there is. And what Disney is saying is that we should reject the idea of equality, that people should be treated equally regardless of their skin color. And they say we need to pursue a strategy and a policy of equity where people achieve, quote, equal outcomes. And this is, again, the tip of the iceberg. Disney created and sponsored a 21-day racial equity challenge and told employees to complete a white privilege checklist and even passed around a worksheet saying that white employees should defund the police, participate in reparations, and even decolonize their bookshelves, whatever that means.
So Disney is encouraging book burning, telling us that equality is wrong, that we're not all equal, and that some of our lives matter more than other lives. That is so dark. I wonder where they think that's going exactly. All lives don't matter? We're not equal? Like, what's the end point for this? Any indication?
Well, I mean, the great irony of this is that the people who are in charge of Disney are some of the richest and most powerful and privileged white males in the history of humanity. And they're pushing this divisive, critical race theory-based ideology as corporate dogma. And the only end of this is division, it's self-hatred. And I think it should be very clear that Disney makes its money on middle Americans who go to their theme parks, who buy their content. And those people should know that this corporation hates you, it hates your culture, and it hates the color of your skin. And I think Americans should reject this kind of politics and reject the companies that are pushing it.
Well, I couldn't agree with that more. And just to be, I just want to nail this down completely. You are certain that these documents are real?
Yeah, that's correct. I've confirmed them with multiple sources around the company, done screen sharing, done internal verification. These are genuine documents and videos. The video doesn't lie. And this is the new ideology of the Walt Disney Corporation. And it's really sad because it used to be a great American company. Now it's telling us that America is a fundamentally racist country founded on discrimination. They couldn't be more wrong. I hope they right the ship, but I'm not optimistic.
Yeah. And they're lying, too, because we are all equal, actually. We're all created by God. We're all equal, and all lives do matter. That's just true. Chris Rufo, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Stacey Abrams.
My thoughts. The fact of the matter is that a number of those buzzwords, when it came to systemic racism, doesn't exist. I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it again. It is non-tangible. You cannot hold it in your hands. You cannot define it. The individual racism comes from, just like I said, the individual, not the collective. It is not inherent. Racism is a learned trait. Now, when it comes to the corporate, that is solely collective. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The fact of the matter is that Disney has gotten woke, has become a joke, and is slowly going broke. So this is a sad thing. It's a pathetic thing. It's ridiculous. It's garbage spewed as always. And we don't have to rehash Gina Carano, but about what happens when you as the individual decide to say, hey, I've got opinions. Disney says, no, you don't. You're fired. But this article by Christopher Rufo should make everyone aware, if not by now, of how stupid Disney is at this point. The fact of the matter is that when you see this in its movies, its shows, it's different entities that it has, ESPN, which has become woke, and well, no, has become woke. It's been woke for a while now, and the reason why ESPN's numbers have dropped like a stone over the last 2 years or so, especially now with the NBA, you got Karen James running around saying, racism is under every rock, it's behind every tree. I wake up, there's racism. I go to sleep, there's racism. LeBroni, how about you just shut up and dribble? But just me. But Disney is becoming more and more of an embarrassment every single day. And you're like, how much further embarrassed can you be? How much further can you go? When you had there was an article done last month from a gentleman who was a super fan of Disney, who basically just ripped Disney to shreds because of its woke garbage. But yet, you had those in the media who were saying, well, he just has a problem. It's he as the individual has the problem. It's not Disney has a problem. Disney is just becoming self-aware of what the situation is around them. No. Disney's a joke because they've gone woke. And like I said, sadly, they're going broke. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more videos just like this? Please leave a comment below, like it, share it, subscribe it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.